Not sure Arturo Vidal has ever been described as a sweet child. Maybe Orellana as well, his Chilean counterpart, but opponent on the day. Barcelona taking on Eibar. And in the sunshine, or what's left of it, the far stands are bathed in the bright stuff. The field comfortably covered. Good look as these two teams prepare for battle. Paulo Oliveira saying hello to his compatriot Nelson Semedo. Eibar, it has been a rather difficult season. Ivan Ramis now the latest to fall, and his teammates trying to show their support. Similar t-shirt just a week ago for Ousmane Dembele for Barcelona. Maybe it is injuries that have made this one of the more intriguing seasons in recent memory. Bill Shane alongside Ray Hudson, and this a match on paper that Barcelona should be able to win and throw the gauntlet back at Real Madrid. But Ray, we saw what happens when you assume. Real Madrid, in an even more obvious victory, ended up dropping points, which makes it a one-point league.
Well, as usual, Phil, beautifully framed, my friend, as we look in these incredibly, we are privileged to see these lads warming up, emotionally tied in to what's ahead of them on both sides of the banister here. Take it all for granted when we look at these stadiums around the world in the great competitions as Martin heads down to the bench with a serious look on his face. But we really shouldn't take them for granted. They're wonderful pictures as we see the fans from all over the world attending to see the possible debut of a signing that has a lot of people surprised, let's just say it.
Maybe him more than any.
But a good player. A good player. Now, the question is, how will he fit? We don't know. He may be just what the doctor orders in many ways. We will have to wait and see. Let's just enjoy the way it plays out, because this Barcelona team has had problems right, left and centre, upstairs, downstairs, and everybody in between. And we will see how it plays out for the rest of the season. It isn't as good as it has been in the past for Barcelona, but this is still an exceptional team with the most exceptional football player that has ever graced the planet Earth. They're up against an Eibar team, Phil. Little mighty Eibar, the biggest of teams from the smallest of cities, a population of over 27,000. It's the smallest city to ever have represented in the history of Spanish top-flight football. But they're modest, they're a hard-working club, and they've established a model that's brought them both on the field and institutional success. Maybe Barcelona might take a little leaf out of that book of late.
Cesar Soto Grado, the man in charge of this match, leads the two teams out towards midfield. Our turn in that starting lineup. In fact, a couple of Excaliburs will be wielded today.
Well, certainly a wonderfully enchanting type of player, Vidal. Not that awesome shark fin haircut, and he is a wonderful player. The ex-Colo-Colo man, and Antoine Griezmann and Messi in the lineup. I imagine that it'd be pulling those two wonderful guns out if Messi can do his damage early against an Eibar side that is sitting in 16th place as we start this.
The other point that is a little deceiving is they actually do have a game in hand. That home match against Real Sociedad postponed due to health concerns after a landfill collapsed and caught fire near Ipurua. That match still to be played and made up, but it does give them a little bit of insurance, although it won't be easy beating their Basque rivals. Martin Braithwaite on the bench. We'll get into some of the controversy, if you will, but it was fair and square according to the rules, at least from a Barcelona perspective. Leganés, who lost earlier today against Celta Vigo, might have other thoughts. Wearing their road green kits, Basque pride firmly on the Argentine. Escalante.
Oh, good player, the ex-Boca Juniors man. He will be leading as Barcelona line up, and they look like a happy group coming in. Rather strange lineup in some ways for Quique Setién, but as this crowd rouse their team and get ready, unquestionably the talk of the town has been the signing of Martin Braithwaite. Phil, this situation is one of those places where they have certainly got a man whose dreams have all come true. Who would have thought that this would have been the case? But this crowd letting the upper echelon know as the dignitaries take their seats just what they think of the situation. But good luck to Martin, and we'll see what he brings to Barcelona.
Again, other controversies swirling this week. The starting lineup for Eibar seeing Inui on one side, Orellana on the other, and Sergi Enrich. It is a modest, humble, hard-working line. There is some weaponry on the bench. This is a team that plays tight defense but struggles to score, especially away from home. Jose Luis Mendilibar's job pretty much just try and keep them in the top flight again, which is miraculous enough considering their circumstances. So the fans put their handkerchiefs away, they take their seats, and the Blaugrana against the Basque Minnows, as we are just about ready to get this one underway.
Well, from the player standpoint, Phil, for sure, they'll be happy to see all of that in the rear view mirror. For 90 minutes, they become boys again, and they'll enjoy the game, and they'll do their best and bring it to board. But this Eibar team has got a sting in the tail. Sergi Enrich, of course, leading the line is that number 9, is the all-time leading goal scorer for mini mighty Eibar, the Gunsmiths.
Cesar Soto awaiting some confirmation from the sideline. He can hear, so it's not a technical issue apparently. Looks like maybe a phone call to the match officials to try and make sure everything is ready. And Martin Braithwaite, I think he just wanted to try and remember the way back to the right dressing room. Well, you know what? I'm almost wondering. They have the truck outside for video review. And maybe there might be an issue with communication to the truck for VAR. Well, there's many people around the globe that probably wouldn't mind going a game without the video, but now the fourth official, Alberto Fuente, passing on the information to Soto.
Well, as all the little mice on the wheels get sorted out in that truck down by the river, look at this little Eibar team, Phil. 5 seasons now in the top league. Their big neighbour, of course, is Real Sociedad. And what an occasion that was for this minuscule team arriving in amongst Spanish football's creme de la creme 5 seasons ago. Wonderful accomplishment. Now our own Andres Cordero stuck in this team, and he bought a seat in the stadium and put his money where his heart is as well. And many other people as well. Iniesta sent funds as well to help the cause.
It does look like it is a communication issue, but Soto apparently prepared to move on. We'll get word from the bench, I'm sure, in no time. Messi, Escalante
Wow,
with
look at
Griezmann
this.
peeking in.
Two captains are being told, in all likelihood, listen, the cameras aren't going to be able to be looking at certain situations, so maybe back to the good old days, Phil. Back to the future. Wonderful. VAR.
Well, we found
what
a
is
way.
it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Might just start another war. And it looks like Fuente with the thumbs up. So now we are ready to get underway. The ball rolling at the new cap after just a bit of a delay. Looks like what they have decided to do with a little slip here in the early going is communicate with the VAR truck by telephone if needed. But a little communication mix-up causing a few moments delay to get this one underway. Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson. 90 minutes of what should be Rock'em and Sock'em if Eibar has anything to do with it. And their road green and yellow. Barcelona the familiar Blaugrana with that Croatian-like checkerboard pattern. You know, Messi on this near side. Again with Arturo Vidal, Arthur, Rakitic, and Busquets. Looks like it's more of a 4-4-2. Almost a flat one as you take a look at Vidal out on that left flank.
Well, that's probably what it's going to be, but once they go into attack, you'll see it'll become 4-3-3 all of a sudden.
Busquets uses those long legs. Nice work by Endrich to turn. And the deflection forcing a sprawl by Ter Stegen. Before the match, might have noticed many of the Barcelona fans waving the handkerchief. And you know they're serious because it was a white handkerchief. They don't normally like that color in the stadium, but they're not too fond of the board either. It wasn't just the Martin Braithwaite arrival this week that had Barcelona in the newspapers, but reports that the board was paying for social media, which ended up criticizing several of their heroes past and present. So just when you thought things were about to calm down, the Barca world turned. Here's Busquets.
Well, everything's stacked up against little mini mighty Eibar. They've played more league games without winning against Barcelona than any other opponent.
11. Just one draw to their credit. But as you like to say, that's in the past, Phil.
That's right. Exactly right. Let's see what this rejigged Barcelona team can bring to the dance. It's certainly been improving in my eyes to some extent in ways of that expensive connective football without playing with a number 9. Absolutely huge handicap, and part of the reason that Martin's been brought in. We'll see once he gets in, a wholly different type of player than any of the players that have been allowed to leave and the players that are still here.
Ball chipped forward, Piqué back to the middle. Of course, there were a few other players that had been rumored. William José's price apparently too much, and Angel, who actually scored against them last week and declined to celebrate, I guess just in case he didn't want to tick off his new employers.
Yeah.
But those two more prototypical archetype center forwards. Braithwaite in some ways provides a little bit more of a Griezmann than a Suarez, but he does give them depth. Ball bounces through, third man in, parried away by Ter Stegen. Ball still in danger, and Rakitic trying to get rid of it.
Yeah. Ball comes skipping in on this slick turf and just
diving header to the corner. But the flag comes up. They'll be taking a look and making the phone call. Escalante denied on the first, but Endrich puts the ball in the net.
It's
and a good call.
Fabulous ball from Cote. The ex-Porto man stings this one in with absolute pinpoint accuracy and a fabulous finish by Sergi. It's all for naught, but it's celebratory football in its failure. Absolutely peach of a pass for Sergi and a lovely glancing header. Barcelona weren't able to shift the first one that came across. As I said, it just skips in. And again, the insuredness of the Barcelona line getting caught out and out wide as well. Not able to shut down the space quickly enough. I haven't got into the rhythm at all in the first 5 minutes, Barcelona. It's been Mini Mighty Eibar who's been pushing the envelope right from the get-go and been fearless.
So the frantic gestures from the assistant manager Eder Sarabia to Quique Setien. Defense has been an issue, and it's been exacerbated since Setien's arrival. Ray, this is a team at home that is in the bottom half defensively. 12 goals allowed in 12 games. And with arguably the best goalkeeper on the planet. Ball plucked down by Exposito. Up the line. But they're going to say it had crossed. 59 degrees, sunny skies, although the stands in the tribune covering the field in shadow. There, as you take a look, they have gone to 3. It is out on that left wing. Basically, Arturo Vidal playing the Ansu Fati role today. More and more, and by design, even though Setien admitted it makes him nervous at times, they are using Marc-Andre ter Stegen to be the playmaker on that back.
Well, it gives them that extra width as well as Marc-Andre goes forward and can play balls like that. That's a fabulous pass.
Ball in, shielding it away. Arthur switches to Messi on this near side, and he has Semedo. Messi inside for Griezmann, but half a step off. Explain what you were talking about with the ball at ter Stegen's feet, the width that they might get.
Yeah, they'll split Piqué and Longley just off of the central player with the ball, which is ter Stegen. That allows Semedo and Firpo to push even higher up. That's the theory on it, and it certainly stretches it widthways, but it also leads to that wonderful stun pass over that incredible distance when the defenders like Eibar come and try to press forward. It is risk and reward unquestionably, and ter Stegen's been cutting his span pretty thin over the last several games, but there's no better passer of the ball in world football in the goalkeeper position than ter Stegen. Got to be careful though.
Messi again leaning to that left, Inui with him. Back for Busquets. Lifts it in for Semedo, sliding over Arbilla.
Beautiful falling back there by the yellow and greens. Messi being corralled in the corner by 3 of the Eibar players. Nowhere go.
Nice round of applause from the faithful. Back in for Busquets. Messi in that center channel. Griezmann to his right.
Left side's on.
Sends it for Vidal, but it doesn't make it through cleanly. Awkwardly cleared by Tejero.
Beautiful.
Griezmann with a nice channel, but Rakitic couldn't find him. That has some bite. Semedo will get there. Sweeps it in for Griezmann. Cleared by Diop, but off the heels of the Frenchman.
Semedo had been a little bit more accurate. Antoine Griezmann, a lovely pocket of space. He'd faded away from his defender. A little bit slack with the pass from Nelsinho.
Here's Firpo. By the way, told his ex-Betis, now Barca boss Setien, don't worry, ter Stegen maybe with the best touch on the team. In for Rakitic, keeps it alive, back for Messi, into the 18, but runs into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, and strangely, Leo is usually instinctive with that first touch pass that he saw coming to him. He had Firpo beautifully joining in on that left side, and there was a lovely channel for him to find. Here's the first one. It just skips in front of Escalante, and I thought this one was going to be close, and then it led to even more chaos with the next attack that Henrich put away, but he was certainly offside.
Mentioned only one draw for Eibar in their history against Barca, but it did come last year, albeit on home soil. Clip falls for Orellana. The Chilean sweeps it wide. It's Inui from an angle. Shot deflected, but right to Ter Stegen.
Playing for a handball there against Eibar.
Return leg. Basically, the equivalent fixture last year ended 3-0. Luis Suarez, though, with 2 of those 3 goals, and he's not available.
Again, some other rough touches by Leo. Playing through this niggling injury that he has as well.
Alba, Suarez, and Dembele unable to do so. Dembele gone for the season. Charles, by the way, suspended for this match. Ligas, Ramis, and Kike all injured. Looking for Griezmann, adjusting Cote to clear. Did it cross? Flag stays down. Barca gets it back.
Coming up into the creme de la creme, as I was talking of before, Phil, this team has really done so admirably, unquestionably should be admired for what they have had to cut their cloth to and make a nice coat out of it. Last 3 seasons finished 10th, 9th and 12th. It's beyond admirable for the gunsmiths. Ball.
Again, right back to Eibar, filling the lanes, although filling their pants that time with Orellana. Arthur able to steal it back. Arturo back to Arthur. Now over to Piqué. Longley, by the way, 1 booking away, as is Umtiti from a suspension. Busquets.
Dodgy ball from Busquets, who had Vidal wide open on that left side. Space not being hit with the pass, as is always, or more often than not, the case with Barcelona. They go to the feet, but when it's played into space like that, this is what happens.
Messi times it well, cutting back to his right foot, though. Tried to go through the legs of Diop, and back to win it. Exposito. Henrich using that big body. Escalante, part of a 3-man midfield, but didn't hear the footsteps. Clash of 5s. Falls to Arthur. Eibar winless in 4. They do have that game in hand, but well, they won't fall any lower than 16th this round, but they want to get as far away from that bottom 4 as possible.
They haven't won a game since beating Atletico de Madrid back in January. 2-0 win. It caused a lot of people to say, wow, what a great result that was. But Atletico having their problems this season. Real Madrid dropping points last weekend. Strange old La Liga this year for sure. Lovely ball.
Looking for Messi, cuts back to his right, tucks it around, and makes the rabbit pop out of the hat.
No, it's no rabbit, Phil. It's a greyhound that Leo pulls out of this hat. Again, the feet continue to dance. His touches have been rough in the first 15 minutes, but it's absolutely syncopated, synchronized genius here. And he carves up Mini Mighty Eibar and teaches Euclid a few things about getting the angles right. Look at this. 3 players inside a telephone box, and he don't care. Dripping honey on it. A wonderful nutmeg. He emasculates our beer here. Disperses his atoms on one side of the defender, collects them on the other. Again, trying to tackle him is like wrestling with a ghost. It's like playing poker with a witch. You're gonna lose when he's in form like that.
Rakitic got it to the magic man, who made the defense disappear. 15th goal of the season.
Beautiful. Absolutely spellbinding football of the highest order. Again, the nutmeg is just sprinkling stardust on what was a stupefyingly magnificent goal from Leo.
Eibar doing their best to frustrate, and successfully so. Again, using the phone right now to check with VAR to see if there was anything wrong with that goal.
You're serious? I'm sorry, Phil.
Modern technology.
There was a lot right with it, that's for sure. The only problem is you don't see that sort of incredible control and change of direction in such a confined space, other than in the realm of Messi world, where the impossible becomes the predictable.
Etienne. He pointed out, and it didn't go over that well. Let's just say it ruffled a few feathers. But pretty much saying the modern Barcelona fans needed to relearn the Barcelona way. In a while since Pep and Tito. This match brought to you in part by Geico. Martin Braithwaite with his escorts just to make sure he made the right turn to the right bench. Or in this case, a left turn. Again, back to Ter Stegen with his wingmen. Again, back to Ter Stegen, under pressure, forcing the turnover. Diop, not a bad idea.
And the apologies go up again from Ter Stegen. And he seems to have this attraction for Rakitic more often than not, when Busquets is the one who the opponents really converge on. And again,
okay, maybe not quite as fast as he remembered, and saved by the whistle. You can understand the wrinkle because of the gifts that Ter Stegen has with his feet, but see what Eibar is doing. They're almost trying to shut off the easy options. I figure some of the other teams are trying to figure a way through this new wrinkle as well.
Yeah, they all recognize it. They're all employing that, Phil. And again, it's out.
Swept away from Messi, but right back to Arthur. Up comes Firpo. Forces it in. Orellana back into the area. Messi couldn't quite make his way through Arbilla. Chance for Griezmann.
Good run.
Semedo back to the Frenchman. Tries to square, but a slide.
It's a good save in the end, Phil, by big Marko Dimitrovic. Big legs extending from the Serbian international.
Another chance for Vidal. Has a go himself. Second effort. The right foot, though, on the wrong side of the post.
Leo was expecting that second effort to be pushed into him. Again, Marko Dimitrovic denies. Arthur starts this lovely little touch pass, firecracker, and then there's that little square pass for Leo on that second touch for the tap in, but Leo says he's got to understand to hit that one. He understands, and no problem. The times he's been in and out of this team, Arturo Vidal, he certainly brings a good attitude towards his performances, and I don't just mean in his application of his tenacity, which is all well documented, and his ability to get in the box and fade away from his players, but I like the way he plays with a real smile on his face a lot of times with his teammates, understanding that it ain't going to work out all the time, but he'll not stop trying to find the right man at the right time, and his industry is always indefatigable. And look at the clubs that Arturo Vidal's played for, and you understand why. High class, high caliber, high quality teams, and it all started in Colo-Colo.
Oh, a gift from Firpo, but he pulls it back. Again, a lot of fans maybe have a one-dimensional perspective of Vidal, but as you pointed out, maybe not back in Chile, and definitely not with the world-class managers that have said they'll have him on their team. Out for the corner. Away, Ter Stegen drops, finds Piqué, who clears. Orellana outside of the right foot into the 6, but no one there to receive.
Vidal's countryman, always a player who brings a lot of danger to his modest side. Up well with Henrich and little Takashi on this side. It's another player that's got to be contained with focus. Antoine Griezmann again, just on the borders of this game.
Back comes Busquets to poke it free, and he takes a hack for the effort. Thumbs up again to the 4th official as they try and makeshift this communication. Burgos stepping in a little too high. Still just 1-0 midway through this opening half. Vidal tries the back heel for Arthur, blocked away by Tejero. Tejero, late decision by Mendilibar to come in. Had been some thought Arbia might slide out wide, but they've elected to keep him inside with Burgos. Barcelona using this as a warm-up for their midweek encounter in Italy against Napoli.
Well, I think they'd like to be a little bit sharper, to be quite honest with you, Phil. It's a meaningful dress rehearsal against a much weaker opponent, but truth be told, there's some polishing up of Barcelona to be done, other than that Koh-i-Noor diamond that was presented to us by Lionel Messi.
Then the Napoli game, a precursor to one of the biggest games of the season, maybe one of the biggest games in recent memory. It is a Clásico with the lead on the line at the Bernabeu. Messi.
Well, I'll guarantee you one thing, it won't be anything as bad as the first Clásico.
In some ways, these two matches, especially the one against Real Madrid, the reason Quique Setien was brought in. He'll be put to the test. Messi tries to settle. Nice good tackle. Poke by Arbia.
Yep. Nice Arbia recognizing that one. And again, usually Leo protects the ball so much. The defender pushes in and tries to reach it and usually causes a foul, but and all of the Barcelona players seem to be a little bit just lax with their touch and control. Yeah, the outlier, of course, was that piece of magic that scored the opening exchange here.
Look at Jose Luis Mendilibar before, who is now going through 5 seasons with Eibar.
Slack football from Barcelona.
Inui to the goal line, but he can't get the cross in. What do you think it is?
They're not passing well enough or sharp enough. It's been right, left and centre, including the goal scorer.
Next 3 matches for Eibar will be on home soil. Levante next, Mendilibar's old side, then Mallorca, one of those teams that is in the relegation zone, and the makeup game on March 10th against Real Sociedad. So 3 in a row. Another sloppy ball out, and Barca fortunate. Busquets.
Good pressure too, and wears them and just makes them disappear beautifully.
Arthur. Poor touch Semedo. You see Mendilibar almost like he's defending on the sideline. Exposito, near side, Cote. Exposito. Inui, Exposito.
Nice. Good play.
Like a marionette on a string.
Mendilibar talking about the defending. I think he senses, hey, they're having a bit of an off day everywhere here.
English helping Rakitic up, or offering to. Slight deflection on the entry pass. Ter Stegen gratefully grabs. As you mentioned, this is an Eibar team that has not won since mid-January against Atletico Madrid. Over the biggest loss, a makeshift Eibar, their backups against Badajoz in the Copa del Rey.
Nutmeg pass by Leo. And
Rakitic.
again, like for like.
Back to Rakitic.
Oh.
Now it's to Messi, and the shot over the bar.
What a combination this is in the fluency between Leo and Rakitic is like Lennon and McCartney, and the offside flag goes up. But if we'd see it in replay, the last pass, which is dispatched back to Messi, should have went to Arturo Vidal. Right there, he may not have been able to get it through anyhow, but wonderful football by even Rakitic and Leo. Pressure again, well won by Exposito.
Yup. Into sweep it clear. Inui. Was he on? No. Enrich maybe would have done better to let it go, but Eibar creating opportunities. I wouldn't say chances, they're creating opportunities. The only one they've been able to convert was waved off. Strong challenge by Arbia.
Yeah. Tonight Arbia comes across, recognizing he's going to get there. His calculated gamble to go down against a slippery player like Antoine, but he read it perfectly, timed his tackle and challenge.
Messi camped out. Beautiful ball across, but well read Tejero, and he needed to. If he doesn't, there's 2 players flying in behind him. Play to midfield.
And tactically, the manner in which Barcelona are playing is really impressive. The 2 wing-backs certainly playing their part and leaving 2 against 1 in the centre of midfield, and certainly Rakitic always capable and able, along with Busquets, to cover if their passing was just slightly sharper, it should be an impressive, but they're letting themselves down here, Barcelona.
Driven to the top, met on the volley by Escalante, but he can't keep it down.
All the pieces seem to be in place nicely. The movement is there, and they're finding each other. But again, not quite putting the pieces together in the final stitching.
Second chance for the ex-Boca boy Escalante. It's 1-0 Barca, but it's not a comfortable lead.
I've seen it a million times before, of course, and any criticism directed to them has to be taken into account of the past performances, not of yesteryear, but of former games, where the last 3 games where they've been pretty impressive and sharp on the ball, and a little bit duller here today. I like the weather.
Slip, Messi can't get there. Inui battling Semedo. The ex-Yokohama man keeps his feet. Esposito barely.
Not as if Eibar is playing with a high tempo either. They'll face that certainly in Napoli on Tuesday.
Nice by Diop, and Archer getting a talking to. Diop wants more than a chat. And he has an argument. Tricky back heel from Cote. And Inui back from an offside position. As dangerous as Eibar have been, they've also shot themselves in the foot more than Barcelona has stopped them. As the old saying goes, you don't get down in the relegation zone by accident. Ready to take a look down at the bottom of the table. They are 16th. The more threatened teams below them, but you take a look at one of them, and that's Celta Vigo. Vidal challenging, but it's back to Dimitrovic. And what we've seen from Celta against Real Madrid and in recent games is they're starting to play like the talent they have. So it's more likely it'll be Eibar battling Mallorca, Leganés, and Espanyol to try and survive. Skips through for Busquets. Vidal to Messi, tried to lay it off, but right to the boot of Arbilla. Fortunate roll for Orellana. Endrich wide. Back to the Chilean. Pops up off his hand, and another miscue saves Barca.
And that roughness just keeps on drawing itself out of the shadows of this game for Barcelona. And here's Messi's moment where the impossible, it seems, becomes the expected. The riot that is Lionel Messi. What you gonna do?
High into the air, smashed back by Esposito, and gets the ball back from Diop. They're not that far away, but can't take advantage. Firpo there, but then he gives it right back. Maybe sloppiness is contagious. Another turnover in both directions. Archer to Arturo. And back. Messi runs. Good step up by Escalante, denies the pass. Busquets, a little slip. Rakitic from the ground keeps it alive. 4 shots apiece, 2 on target. The only one that's gone in has been Messi's. Vidal flipped to the ground. Messi has been involved in a goal now in all 11 games he has played against this team, and it marks the difference between the two. Orellana trying to turn, tangled with Firpo. Free kick for Eibar. By the way, Orellana scored in his last 2 La Liga games. Going to make it 3 in a row. Semedo poked away. Did it come off? Nope. It's a Barcelona throw. 26-year-old preferred Sergio Roberto on the day. Foul throw. Over for Burgos. Vidal anticipates. For Ter Stegen. You see the 5 front players for Eibar trying to clog the lanes. Down to the middle, just a little tough.
Again, it's just that's been the way this game has gone for Barcelona. They've been less than impressive with their final touch, their final pass. It's belly aching, but there's so much of it that's right in the right place, the right movement, but then it's got a hand to Eibar for the pressure that they are imposing as well. Your hat off to them, but Barcelona start sharpening their passes and movement, and it'll be a different sort of game entirely. The lanes are there, the passes are open, and it's been a continual just that roughness around them. Look out.
Bursting in is Messi single-handedly. He's done it again.
The roughness disappears when the magic man gets it, though, doesn't it? Again, the defense falls apart at King Louis Temple, and Mendilibar is just left angry. He's almost polite in the way he beats his defenders. Messi just skips the light, fantastic, and the angle is extremely tight and acute, but he measures it down with more accuracy than a theodolite. Again, if you showed him a Rorschach blot, he'd see goal every time, Phil.
By a toe.
As I said, in his first goal, teaches Euclid a thing or two about angles.
I guess you can say that was the sign.
Goal-scoring drought has suddenly disappeared now. Leo sitting on a hat-trick.
Again, he has had success against this team. That's now 18 goals and 3 assists in 11 games, and almost a first-half hat-trick. In fact, Eibar, the last team he scored 4 goals against in the same game back in September of 2017, and he could be on track to repeat. The difference between these two is even on an off day, that touch of class. Out comes Dimitrovic, well out of his area. But Griezmann initially offside. 8 goals, 4 assists for the Frenchman. And I'm not so sure. Although a moot point after that ball went wide. Vidal, his second assist. A gift here thanks to Rakitic. Messi squares. Griezmann. Now it's Messi. And it's as clean as a whistle.
They're about defenders. They're going to need to go to therapy after this game. And what do you do to contain him? He does everything right to set and polish the cutlery for Griezmann, who again just typifies the Barcelona roughness. It's a bad giveaway. Leo could have chipped the keeper, I'm sure. Griezmann's pass, his touch isn't too good at all. Again, exemplifying a multitude of Barcelona players just like that. But then it comes back to Leo, and then it's hasta la bye-bye.
And the reason Messi is not offside is the ball comes back off the defender. So again, Eibar, their own worst enemy.
Unlucky. Patrick, first half.
As you said, there had been a scoring question swirling around. Maybe not inside the dressing room, maybe not inside of Messi himself, because he has been involved in setting up his teammates. The goals have been coming, but it has to be a relief for the fans, to say the least. So 14th, 38th, and 40th. 3 goals in a 26-minute span.
A question for Kiki Setien at half-time. Fell 3-0 up. Big game in Italy on Tuesday. Got to be thinking of pulling Leo out of this match at this point.
Do you want to tell him? And in some ways, Ray, they probably were thinking about keeping their newest attacker on the bench to experience what it's like. But now with 3 goals in their pocket, maybe the opportunity to stick Martin Braithwaite out there for his debut.
Well, I'd like to see Martin coming in for perhaps the French World Cup winner and at least give him 15 minutes with the greatest.
There, the clarification. If it had been off of Griezmann, it would have been offside, but Mendilibar not so fortunate. I guess that's also the difference between a team like Barca and a team like Eibar. Eibar plays sloppy and can't take advantage of their chances. They pay the price. Barcelona plays sloppy and the chances still seem to fall. Nice by Semedo. Arthur. Messi holds the defense and frees Semedo. Plenty of help across. Griezmann lays wide. Vidal back for the Frenchman. Pop shot. Rebound Busquets, and he's denied. Back-to-back stops from Dimitrovic.
Frustration continues for Antoine Griezmann. Beautiful ball. Wonderful from Nelsinho Semedo. His run dictates Leo's pass that is red carpet-like, and it all starts coming together. Busquets cannot finish it. Griezmann again with a wonderful opportunity.
For Semedo. The ball just falling to the feet of Messi. Sneaks it for Griezmann. Out comes Dimitrovic. A penalty will be called, but will it be pulled back for offside? Regardless, a chance for 4. And it is offside, but they will be taking a look.
He can't get the ball to Griezmann any quicker. Again, he's contained and he's just, man, that is literally a heel offside. Lovely touch, and that would have been a nailed-on penalty.
Didn't need to draw the line that time. It was already done.
Very, very close. But as you say, Phil, the 18-yard line doing the work of VAR.
Does not take away the pluckiness of these green and yellow clad opponents, but overmatched on the day. Maybe a chance for a little something before the break. Longley stepping in, and now it's Piqué. 45 minutes up, and that's going to do it. It's 3-0 thanks to Lionel Messi. You could say there were some assists, but it's Messi again. Barca 3, Eibar 0 at the half.